students, I'm Aanchal Sharma, your educator. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. We are going to discuss about this examination, UGC-NET. So what is basically UGC-NET? This video, I'll be breaking this video into few sections. We'll be discussing first of all about UGC, then what is basically NET examination. We'll be dealing what is NTA, what is the structure of the examination, what is the age limit, what is the relaxation if you have any, and what are the other papers that are included in it. Like what is the structure, core structure of the paper. So in this video, we'll be discussing about all of these things, and after this video, any doubt that you have about UGC-NET would be clarified. So let us talk about UGC-NET. So whenever you think about this examination UGC-NET, the first thing that comes in your mind is the basic eligibility test. So this is the UGC-NET is a test to determine the eligibility of any Indian national citizen to become the future assistant professor or lecturer or to carry forward your research. So if you want to become a lecturer or an assistant professor anywhere in university or a college, you need to clear this basic eligibility test, that is the UGC-NET exam. This UGC-NET exam, after clearing this UGC-NET exam, either you become lecturer in the colleges and the universities, or you can carry forward your research works if you get your fellowship. The fellowship is called as the Junior Research Fellowship, that is the JRF, in which money is given by the government to you. It is called as stipend, and you can use that money to carry forward the research work, right? So this means that this is the basic eligibility. You need this thing to become the assistant professor or a lecturer. Now, what is the UGC? What is University Grants Commission? University Grants Commission is a statutory body of the government of India. Now, whenever you think about statutory, what is it? We have all studied this in higher education, and we know that statutory is basically a body that is developed after an act is passed. So, the University Grants Commission Act was passed in 1956, and after that, we saw the University Grants Commission coming up. So, University Grants Commission is basically a body that looks into the matter and how the higher education and the structuring of the higher education is seen, right? So, these are the roles and the responsibility of UGC. UGC provides funds, coordination, determination, as well as maintenance of the standards of the institutes that are holding on or pertaining to the higher education. Now, before 2018, we saw that CBSE was conducting this exam of UGC-NET. But after 2018, we had another body called as NTA, the National Testing Agency, that started to conduct the exam. NTA is a body that works under, and you can say works with the UGC, so that your examination is carried forward smoothly and properly all over the country. So NTA started to conduct the exam. After 2018, we saw that the fast changing trends were seen, and the questions also became extremely comprehensive and detailed. So if you really want to solve the paper, you really need to pick papers after 2018, because NTA completely changed the pattern, right? Let us discuss about NTA. So NTA is established by the Ministry of Education, that is MOE. First, initially we used to call it MHRD. Now it is called as the Ministry of Education. It's an independent, autonomous and self-sustained testing organization that looks into the matter of how the examinations are conducted. Now, this exam of UGC NTA, actually this exam happens 2 times a year. And this exam, UGC-NET exam, is conducted by the NTA body. I hope this is clear. So what is the eligibility of this exam? So as I told you, UGC-NET exam is there for the students who are there in the humanities field and other fields. So there are about 81 to 83 subjects that are there in UGC-NET, and you can choose any of them to give the paper. There are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 2 is the core paper that you have, and in that paper, you can choose any subject out of these 81 to 83 subjects that are offered by UGC-NET. If you are from science stream, then you move towards, you have to give a different exam that is conducted by, that is called as CSIR-NET, not UGC-NET. So this is the difference between the two. Then if you are, now what is the eligibility criteria? This is the question that will come in your mind. So if you have basic 55% marks in your master's degree, that means your post-graduation, or equivalent form of marks by any recognized university in humanities, social science, computer science, applications, and electronic science, then you are eligible to give the exam. So this is the basic eligibility. At least 55% marks in your post-graduation, if you have, then you can give the exam. This is for the unreserved category. When it comes to the reserved category, like the other backward classes or the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, persons with disability, transgender category, etc., they are someone who need to score 55% marks, right? So 50% marks. So 50% marks for the reserved category, and unreserved is 55%. Now there are some exceptions. The candidates with a PhD degree whose master's level exam was completed before September 19, 1991, irrespective of the date of the declaration of their result, will be eligible with a relaxation of 5% in the aggregate marks. Right? So if you have started your MA, and so if you have just enrolled yourself in your MA, you can also fill the form. But provided you need to give, if you clear the exam, you need to prove to the NTA people that you have already scored 50% or 55%, depending on the category you lie. Right? So if you are in your MA, you can fill this form of UGC-NET, but you have to prove them that you scored the least scores that you have. Then the candidates are suggested to choose the same NET subject for paper 2 as their specialization in their post-graduation. This means that if in your MA, your master's, or in your post-graduation, you had English literature as your domain, as your subject, then it is advisable to take that only as your paper 2. So as I told you, there are two papers in UGC-NET. Simultaneously, you have to give these papers. There is paper 1 and paper 2. Now, paper 1 is the general paper that we have. It's the general aptitude paper which has 10 units in it. There are 10 units like teaching aptitude, environment, units like logical reasoning, mathematics, teaching aptitude, communication. These are the important units that we have. 10 units are there, right? But what about this paper 2? Paper 2 is always, the questions in paper 2 are always related to the subject in which you have done your post-graduation. So if you are from English literature background, it is advisable to take English as your paper 2. And the questions would be asked from English literature only. And it depends कि आपका कौन सा subject है, right? As I told you, there are 81 to 83 subjects that are there. And NTA conducts the exam in those in those subjects. If your subject is not mentioned in the list, then you can choose the subject that is related to it. But it is advisable that you please take the subject that is the subject in which you have done your MA or your post-graduation. Then what is the age limit? So the age limit, there is no age limit for UGC-NET for the candidates who are applying for the post of assistant professor. But the upper age limit for JRF is 30 years. When it was the time of COVID, it was 31 years, but now it is again 30 years. And the validity is forever. So once you clear this exam, forever you can use the certificate that you get. But if it comes to the research work, the junior research fellowship, it is up to 30 years when you can do it. Then there are some of the exceptions, some of the age relaxations, like if you are from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, 5 years of relaxation is given. OBCs are given 5 years of relaxation. The persons with disabilities are given 5 years of relaxation. Transgender, 5 years of relaxation. Women applicants are also given 5 years of relaxation. If you have done the research work in the same domain, then a maximum of 5 years of relaxation is given to you. Maximum of 5, right? If you have a degree of LLM, then 3 years of relaxation. And armed service, if you are from armed force services, then a maximum of 5 years of relaxation is given. Now, let us talk about the structure. Very important details that you need to have to understand the paper. So, first of all, it's an online exam that is conducted twice a year. NTA is trying to regularize and conduct the exam properly, right? So, 2 times the exam would be conducted in a span of 1 year. This means that you have the golden chance to clear this exam twice a year. Okay. Then there are 2 papers that are seen simultaneously. The window opens. Say, suppose this is the window. The 3 hours that are given to you, you need to solve paper 1 and paper 2 simultaneously. There will be 50 questions from your paper 1. After that, simultaneously, you will have 100 questions related to the core paper that you have. Here, we took an example of English literature, right? So, you will have 100 questions there in paper 2 and 50 questions in paper 1. Each question is of 2 marks. That means 50 questions, total marks would be 100. 100 questions, total marks would be 200. Total comes to 300. 300 marks are the total marks that you have, that you need to score. One very interesting thing, that is the most important thing I must say, is that there is no negative marking. That means you need to attempt all the questions that are there. Then what is another important thing is that there are 10 units in this first paper and 10 units in the second paper. Now, in this 10 units, as I told you, units like communication, teaching aptitude, research, environment, higher education, and then we have DI, then we have comprehension. These are the various 10 units, logical reasoning. These 10 units are there. And it is said that 5 questions are asked from each unit. But of course, as I told you, the paper is becoming more and more challenging. The awareness is increasing, the demand is increasing, the paper is becoming more and more difficult. So, it is possible that sometimes 5 questions are not asked from each unit. It can vary, okay? But mostly the trend is that there are 10 units, 5 questions from each unit of 2 marks. Right, so the paper 1 will become of 100 marks. Similarly, it comes to the 10 units that are there from your paper 2, and 100 questions are asked, 2 marks each. That means 200 marks are the total marks. Out of this, then what happens? About 6% of the total candidates, according to the cutoff of the related subjects that you have. Everyone has a different subject. So, according to the subject, there would be a cutoff list, and according to that cutoff list, 6% of the students would be eligible for the post of assistant professor. You have your certificates that would be given to you, and you can download that certificate, go to the different colleges and universities and seek jobs. If you are the top scorers, about 1%, or it depends on the cutoff, those people are given JRF, that is the Junior Research Fellowship. They become eligible to carry forward their research. According to your subject, it depends from which subject you are given stipend to carry forward your research. So if you have your JRF, then it becomes easier for you to carry forward your research. But of course, it is possible after clearing UGC-NET, you can also do your research works, right? That is why this exam becomes so important, and I would say in one go only you should target for your JRF so that you can carry forward your jobs as well as your research, right? So the exam, as I told you, is becoming more and more comprehensive. There are 10 units in paper 1, 10 in paper 2. This means exhaustively you need to study. The importance of paper 1 is increasing as well, because previously it was a qualifying exam, but now both the papers are important. It is becoming aggregate. So both the papers are important. You need to put efforts in both the papers. And if you put efforts, I'm 100% sure you'll clear the exam in one go. So I hope you understood the video. You understood all the details that I wanted to give you. In this video, we discussed about what is UGC-NET, how NTA conducts it, what are the responsibilities of UGC, and then we discuss the structure. We also discuss the age limit and the other requirements that you need, right? What is the basic qualifications that you need to appear for the examination. I hope you understood everything. If you still have any doubt, you can write it in the comment section and we'll surely reply to you. Thank you so much.